everybody, this is Erin Christie here, and this is my update final of my MMP. So as you all know, I have been creating a classroom website for a language arts classroom who is doing a unit on the story The House of the Scorpion. So from my last update number 2, I haven't changed much. I just added in the rest and finalized it. So as you can see, the setup is the same. Here, the homework assignments, I changed the date since I said I would be changing them weekly. So April 29th, April 30th, and so on. Their assignments that they have to do are listed. The important information, again, I have a word of the week, oxymoron, pun, and quote of the week. And my contact Miss Christie information is just the same at the bottom. Alright, and underneath the calendar, I have added new assignments that they have to do. Again, this calendar was transported in from Google Calendar. So they can just go over, they can click on the assignment, and if I wanted to put in more information, I could. Okay. Resources, I have added new ones. So when I last checked in, I had project number 1, and I had House of the Scorpion map and Nancy Former's site. However, I've added the persuasive essay assignment and the Animato project. So these just open up as documents. So it'll come up, the persuasive essay, the description's there, and then I had a little checklist for them. Did I state in my thesis whether or not I agree or disagree, give 3 examples, etc. I also added the Animato project. And the Animato project pops up as a Word document as well, and it's just a description of what they'll have to do. Again, this will be done during school hours. I also added in test review and 2 Scorpion videos, 1 and 2, that I'll tell them about in class. So I'll open them up for you. These are just trailers made by other
Life
students.
in the little house was quiet and lonely, all alone in the great fields of poppies. Until one day, the children from the big house discovered me. After that, everything changed. After that, I found out who I was, and what I was, and the reason why I was created. I am Mateo Alacrone. I am not human.
So that's just a little example. Here's the second video. It's the same thing as a student made a trailer for it. And I put these videos up because you'll see in a little bit that they need to use these for one of their blog assignments. Alright, under tutorials, when I last checked in, I had the eBoard navigation tutorial for you. I also said how I was going to bring up an Animato tutorial for the students to look at if they needed extra help on how to do it. Even though the Animatos will be done during school hours, I also just put it on the resource website just in case. So they can just play right over here.
Hello everybody, this
So
is Erin.
that's a really good resource for them to use. Vocabulary words, as I already mentioned. This will be changing every time they get new vocabulary words, so students will be able to see that. Also, blogs. I had the blogs updated when I last checked in. However, I added in blog number 3 and number 4. And blog number 3 asked them to watch the 2 YouTube videos and tell me which ones they like better and give one detail from the text that should have been added into the video that wasn't. So that's why those 2 videos were presented. Blog number 4 is just them answering me a question about chapter 26. And as you can see under welcome, homework assignments, it tells them blog number 4, blog number 3, and things like that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about my reflections of doing this assignment and also just on the course in general. The first thing I wanted to state was that some students commented on my update number 1 talking about my color scheme and how maybe I should change it. So if hired in a school district in the future when I do make a web page like this Obviously, the colors will be in the school colors. So if my school colors are red and white, this will obviously be red and incorporate their school colors. I think that this was really fun to me to do, and I think that I successfully utilized everything I had to do. The only failure that I had that I might change in the future was with the blogs. So I was able with Wix to import this from a blogger website. However, all my blogs imported, but there isn't a feature that allows them to hit reply on here. So if they wanted to reply to the blogs, they would have to actually go onto my blogger website. So in the future, I might use Weebly to create this website instead of Wix, because when I was looking at other students' screencasts of their MMP who did use Weebly, that was available. Their blogs were right on the website and they could hit reply. So as you can see, like, it just names the blogs. It doesn't actually give me a reply feature that they could do it right in the website. So that, I would say, is really my only failure with this assignment. Okay. I apologize, my computer's freezing. Alright, so the reflection part of this assignment asks us to pull up our original MMP proposal and to make sure that all the objectives were met. So in my objectives, I said that students will be able to recall specific facts and events, write persuasive letters or essays on why they agree or disagree with cloning, successfully create a slideshow with Animato, and things like that. If you go down for my objectives for the instructional plan, I said how students will be able to use Animato and how I would create a screencast for that. And I successfully did this. I also said in my objectives how there would be a navigation tutorial of how to go about my eBoard, and I did that as well. Also, I said that through the blogs they will be able to informally write down ideas and answer questions asked. And as you can see on the blog portion, they do have questions that they can ask that we'll talk about the next day in class. However, as I already stated, I would probably use Weebly next time because there's not a reply feature on the website that allows me to do that. All the technology tools that I stated in my proposal that I would be using, I did. So Screencast-O-Matic, I obviously am using for right now to create this to show you guys. Also, I use Screencast to put up the tutorials of the eBoard and Animato. I also said that I would be using Weebly to create my website. Actually, I used Wix, and I regret that. I wish I used Weebly. The third tool was the blog that I successfully created, and Animato. So all my technology tools were met. So my learning theories and principles. For the 21st century tools, it is required for students to use computers, and I think that my website and my unit successfully utilizes that. They do use computers to do their blogs, find assignments and homework, view videos, etc. Also, my timeline I used. So by my first screencast, I had my classroom website already started. By my second upload on Thinkfinity, I had screencast done and I took the advice from my other students. And in my final project, again, I took advice from my students. All of my screencasts were completed for the navigation tools. Okay. And my purpose, if we're going back to the top, was first, my students, I want them to practice writing in order to improve their skills. And they did that with mini projects and also with the persuasive essay. And my second goal was to incorporate technology into the classroom, but also in their homes and personal lives. And I successfully did that through my eBoard, Animatos, also blogs I did at home. And my summary was basically, it was circled on a 7th grade language arts classroom. and they'll be reading The House of the Scorpions. So again, I believe that I successfully completed my MMP following my proposal. Okay, so the second part of our reflection asks us how we view the role of technology in teaching and learning as this relates to what we've been learning in the course. I think that the role of technology is major in teaching and learning, and it can only benefit the students. We are living in a time today where technology is so relevant in everything we do, and I think that it only helps students. Um, for example, looking at my e-board, even though I'm not in a real classroom setting right now and I'm not a teacher, but if I was, the role of technology helps immensely because if you look at my e-board navigation and my Animoto tutorial, students would have no idea how to navigate this if it weren't for my tutorials. And when I'm not around and they're at home, they can also look at this. So basically, technology allows the students to get help at any time, to their discretion, to their availability. For example, blogs. Students can answer these blogs whenever they want. They don't need to sit down on pen and paper. They can do it whenever they really want to do it. Also, what I wanted to state was the role of technology in teaching and learning relevant to taking this course for me. I loved it. I especially loved the blogs. I like how you gave us a week span, so there wasn't a time constraint of when we had to do it. So we had all week to complete it. Also, the role of technology in this class, especially with the blogs, helped out because I like how students were able to comment on it, and I was able to see their comments. Also in Thinkfinity, hearing their feedback was really helpful, and also when they would critique me or like I was able to change it in my MMP. And some of the things they wrote also had me thinking. So what they would say would open up a whole new window for me, and I would be able to see things from different perspectives. So the third part, you just wanted us to summarize our what we accomplished by creating this project. And I already stated that earlier. Also, what did you learn from the composing process, and how did your readings regarding the designing process affect your project's overall look? So I remember in White Space is Not Your Enemy, they talked a great deal about how it was okay to leave white space and we didn't need to clutter it. So I followed that on my MMP. You know, I made it a clean setup to make it easy to navigate, and I did leave white space all around. As you can see, I didn't put that many graphics on it at all. You know, my graphics were maybe here with vocabulary words, but other than that, everything was pretty clear and clean. Also, we talked about how we could go off the grid and we didn't have to center everything. And on my welcome page, I did that. As you could see, my homework assignments here are more pushed to the left, leaving more open space for important information. So I thought that I utilized that pretty good. And the fourth and final portion just asks where do we see this future, the future of this piece, etc. Right now I'm a student. I'm graduating this May with my master's, and I'm hoping to find a job next year. So in the future, I definitely see myself using this website as my own e-board. I'll be certified to teach elementary education and also middle school language arts. So obviously, if I am teaching elementary education, I'll still use the website, but changes will be done to match my audience. So maybe they'll be more colorful, there'll be more graphics, the content on the page will change. If teaching in language arts, as I already stated, I would probably change the colors to match the school colors, and I'd also change the information on it due to the fact that the content will be different, maybe it'll be a different unit, etc. I am running out of time on the screencast. It only lasts for 15 minutes, so I am going to make a second screencast so you guys can view my, it's only going to be a couple minutes longer.